Comments and questions now, and we may read them later on. Let's talk about Governor Gary Johnson, who was on the show today. What'd you think?
I really like him because he's a human. You know, he made a mistake.
He's a what?
He's a human being.
He's a human being?
He doesn't sound like a rehearsed politician that comes out of D.C. with talking points. Now, he didn't know something that he should have known. I think at running for president, you should know that. But he also wasn't afraid to say, I don't know, which is something that makes him a human being. And I think people out there say, you know what, this is a guy who, if he doesn't know something, won't try to pretend that he does to come off smooth. He'll go ask somebody and figure it out.
Can I say something, though? And I didn't say it on air. I tried to, but it's funny, and I said it a little bit at the end. It's funny how social media works nowadays. The more bad stuff you do, the more followers you get. Let me tell you how much his numbers are going to go up now that he said that, because people are going to hear about it. They're not going to know. Then they're going to search him. Then they're going to find out if they like him or don't. Either way, you need haters and you need likers, and this will bring his numbers up. Sad but true.
On that note, Kristen on Twitter says, I don't know is better than backpedaling lies. Like it or not, it's about time somebody was honest. I think that's what people feel
I know that's
missing.
fine, but
or knowing everything like Trump, because Trump knows everything.
You know what?
There's that difference. I
Well,
don't like
I think for me, what I was hoping for from him, because obviously my faith plays a big part in the decision making, and I don't see the two current candidates as I know they have some faith.
Hillary's actually religious.
She has said, and Donald says he is too.
Yeah. He worships his photograph, okay?
But I think for me, which I understand he wants to keep it separate, church and state, but my question to him was on a personal level. I wanted to know what he believed. And I understand his position. I was hoping for a little bit more in that department.
Why?
And because it would tell me a lot about his character. As a Christian, when I hear that...
Let her finish. That's rude.
Well, you know what that's about? That's about, you know, people who are religious often say that...
From my perspective...
The morality
so listen,
is about religion.
I'm not talking about that. You guys are shaking your head. Let me explain my point of view. As a Christian, from where I stand, if someone claims to be a Christian, I listen to their answer. I listen to key words that they say. I listen to phrases that they use. It can give me some insight as to form my own opinion as where I think they may be in their walk with God. So that is when I say, as character, that gives me, shed some light. I am not judging him. I am not saying that Christians have better moral character than everyone else in the world. Right. So please don't boo me because you think I'm judging him. I'm not.
So you would say the same for a Muslim or a Jew then, too, right?
Absolutely. Okay. But I think you ask that to a Muslim or a Jew to Jew, they could say the same thing. Exactly. They would have insight. Right. So that's what I wanted to hear his answer.
Right. And I think the opposite of that are people like me who understand that, and I look at it the opposite way of, can you separate it? Can you have your faith and still lead a country that holds millions of kinds of faiths? And I think that with what he said and the other thing that I let you read, he knows how to do it when necessary, but like not all the time. You know what I'm saying?
I totally know what you're saying, and I totally understand where he is politically, but I wanted an answer into his heart and his walk with God.
Yeah, he's not like
that.
You know, the issue that I have,
and that's okay. That's okay. That's what I want to know, and he answered that.
I have a few issues with him, but you know, my main issue with him. My main issue with him is that he's a spoiler in this race, as I've said to the well, just a minute. The two of you, and normally, and because I'm old and I went through Ralph Nader, who destroyed, then got, what did we get? We got George Bush, then we got Iraq, then we got the Mideast mess, okay? So let's just remember what a spoiler can do.
And let's remember that it's time to change.
No, let's remember.
That just because you lived in that time and stuff happened doesn't mean that we can't use that as knowledge. Okay. But at the same time, we have to look forward and say, you know what? That hasn't worked. It still hasn't worked, and he should have won, and maybe something should happen differently because we're in a different time period.
And I agree with that part, okay? And so do these independents over here, wherever they are.
And over here, too.
But in a normal presidential race, I would go along with that. But we are dealing with a psychotic. We are dealing with a pathological liar, racist, misogynist, incompetent. We are not dealing with two equal candidates.
Yeah, but
Why don't you find
That is the problem I have.
But there's a whole
That's
bunch
what
of-
my
there's
problem
a
with him is.
There's a
I
whole
don't
bunch
care
of
if he doesn't know
people,
about
though.
Aleppo. He's a spoiler.
The problem is there's a whole bunch of people in this society that don't feel represented.
I don't
They
care.
feel you
They
elect
have
a
to be in
Democrat, you
reality,
elect a
Jed.
Republican, you don't get anything. Republicans say, let's cut spending, let's cut government waste. Guess what? They get elected, they don't do any
You
of
know
that.
what?
Democrats
you know what?
tout
Work
all of
on
this
that.
stuff about
Work on
equality.
that. And all you
where
guys
is
who are
it?
voting for Gary Johnson, work on that for the next one because it's 2 months away.
That's what everybody
And
says.
the apocalypse is coming.
But they say work on it next time. That's what
Every
happens
time.
with people when they want their freedom. If I want to get married or
Start
if I'm
working
black.
on it now
No, no, no.
for the next election. It's too
No,
late.
we're working on it now by showing that there's other people out there to vote for. That's how you work on it now, to bring him on to a major
have
show
to-
like this
you
and to
have to
show,
get-
listen, there's other people out there.
There
And
are
I don't
millions of
understand
people
it.
out there,
Raven.
Raven.
She blended us.
I just have this thing with, I understand, okay, don't get it twisted. I'm from the South. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I get it. Thank you for your knowledge and preaching me and getting us to this point. But
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about the sirs and the ma'ams that are older than me that understand history more than I do.
Right.
But at the same time, if it wasn't for the younger generation in, you know, the 60s or the 70s or the 50s, that push to get, I'm not finished, that push to get change done wouldn't happen. It's up to us to change
Let me
it.
tell you something about my generation. My generation fought against the Vietnam War. My people marched, okay?
Mine
we
did, too.
hated
And
Lyndon
mine not-
Johnson because of what he did in Vietnam.
Give
Don't
us
talk
that
about
chance.
your generation. I know better, honey.
No, no,
what
no.
The
You're not
young
understanding
people
what I'm
can
saying,
do.
Joy.
And young
Y'all,
people
this is
cannot
getting so
put
angry,
Donald
it's
Trump
not
in
enjoyable.
office.
No, no, no. I'm not saying that. Hold on. Let me
It's
finish.
getting so angry. This isn't a
It is.
nice
I am
conversation.
angry about the fact that he could win. Are you
young
angry about
young
that?
people, Joy,
But listen, there's
Are you worried about that? Come on.
Joy, young
Wake
people
up.
aren't voting
How
for Donald
old were you
Trump.
during that time,
They're not
Joy?
voting for
Could
Hillary
win.
Clinton.
Don't-
How
Young
old were
people
you?
aren't voting for either.
What?
know.
Say what?
I'm happy to head
I
out.
can't hear you. Where are you going?
How
You're losing
old? Because
Candace.
it's just angry conversation. I don't want to be a part of it.
I agree.
Okay, fine. Let's talk about Mother Teresa, which was her topic. Come back. We're talking about Mother Teresa. We are. Mother Teresa just has been upgraded to sainthood.
Yeah.
And first of all, yes, because she did very good things apparently in India with babies and like that. Although she's been criticized by Christopher Hitchens, etc. But she admitted that there were times when she didn't believe in God. Does that surprise you that she had doubts?
It surprises me a little bit, but I also relate to that. I went to Catholic school my whole life, and there are days that I sit back. I consider myself spiritual, not religious. I don't believe in organized religion. So I believe in God, but I don't like a lot of what goes on in organized religion. But there's days that I sit back and I say, I'm just a person and I just don't know. I'm just not sure. So to have a figure like that be able to own up to moments in her life where there was doubt makes her very relatable and very human. I think a lot of people have been through that, who, even if you're a person of faith,
Right.
maybe you had moments where somebody got sick in your family, you saw something terrible happen in the country, or you just said, really, should I believe? So I love that she said that and admitted it.
What do you think?
I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Christian. I'm not a religious person. And what I would say probably would
Do you
get me
believe in God?
trouble. Huh?
Do you believe in God?
I plead the fifth. I'm not going to say what I feel in my religious stance because I already talked politics. You're not supposed to talk religion and politics. Pick one. Pick one.
People always say that.
Pick one.
Don't talk religion and politics. What else is there to talk about?
Food, sex, what I smell like, what my lips look like. There's a lot of things to talk about.
Well, what do you think about it, though? Do you think, do you have moments where you're just not sure, or how do you feel?
Well, I don't really think there's much after this.
Yeah.
No, I wish there was. I'd like to see some people again,
Yeah.
But I don't have much faith that I'm going to see them. I've never seen anybody come back,
Yeah.
So it's sad, really.
That's the crux of it, though, that I'm always envious. What I would have said to Candace, I'm envious of the faithful because you have to believe that there's no proof.
Maybe Candace will come back, though. Come on, Candace.
Come on, Candace.
Come
She's
back.
right, though. She's right. You have to, take your stand. And I appreciate her for doing that because it was heated and there was no understanding of what either of us were saying to each other, and that's what happens when you have an argument instead of a debate. You can't hear each other, and I respect you, Candace.
It's happening in the whole country.
Yeah, but
people are fighting with each other because the stakes are very high.
Yeah, but you don't have to fight. You don't have to fight because of what that man is spewing out of his mouth. We can show how to be and how to react and how to say our words correctly and not give in to what he's doing. That's what we can do.
True. You're right. You're right. All right. Are we done? Audience questions. Here we go. Let's go. We have, where is it? Oh, here it is. Astrid in the audience has a question.
Hello.
Thank
you. Okay, so my question is, if you were stranded on an island with one of your co-hosts, who would it be and why?
Oh, boy.
I would choose Whoopi because I don't like to talk to anybody, and I really like to be by myself, and so does she. So we'd be on one side of the island, except when something goes down, she's real smart, so she'd be like, smoke signals, don't talk to me, but smoke signals. I'd be like, got you, let's meet, and don't talk.
I would pick Raven because, did you notice before when she got stuck in that booth, she just improvised? I would have been standing there. She will get us out.
I will get you out.
She'll get me to food and she'll get me out.
I'm a beast driver. I got you.
She will. She'll figure it out.
I'm good. Who would you
I would pick Candace because...
Why?
I would pick Candace because she believes, and I would need that if I was stranded on an island. Okay, April in the audience has a question. April, where are you, my dear?
Hi, I'm over here.
Go ahead.
I've been watching The View for 20 years. So my question,
You're
though,
the one.
is, do you prefer life before or after social media?
Oh, that's a good question.
I much prefer it before.
Are you
much prefer it before?
Are you talking about life or career? Life. Before.
Before?
Relationships in particular, I feel like have suffered so much from social media with Instagram and the tags and who likes this and having to kind of showcase your relationship and pressure to do that. And then everybody's too involved in everybody's business. I kind of crave privacy. I crave what it used to be like.
However, now with your career in social media, you don't have to do anything but take a picture and you're famous. Easy. Before I had to like work. It's crazy.
You're talking about Facebook and Twitter, right, when you say social media?
Instagram,
Because I love email and I love my phone that I carry with me and all
She's
that.
always on Facebook. She's
love
always
that.
on Twitter during the meeting. She knows everything that's going on.
Who, me?
You know
no,
what's
I'm not on Twitter.
You're not?
No,
That's just
here
Facebook?
and there. I'm going to start doing Twitter a little bit. I am. All right, Andrea in the audience has a question.
Hi, friends. So my question is, what is something that you hate or dislike that you wish you loved?
Something that I hate that I wish I loved, like hard-boiled eggs, for example.
Or vegetables?
Oh.
And mostly the back fat. Like if I liked my back fat, I'd be in that dress, but I don't like my back fat,
Is
so
it
I'm
like
gonna
a
keep that back
parachute
there.
thing? It's very cute.
It's Vivian Westwood. I don't know.
How about you, hon?
I hate some of the new, like on the social media questions, some of the new advances in technology. Like, I wish I loved texting. I wish I loved all of this. But honestly, I want to go back to like 1950 sometimes and just kind of chill. Just have a conversation.
Jedediah,
You know.
have you seen the 3D glasses though?
I know she loves all this stuff.
Have you
She's trying
seen
to
them?
upgrade me all the
I
time.
gotta
this
upgrade
one
you,
over
girl. I
here.
gotta
Trying to
upgrade
upgrade me.
Does anybody else have a question? Because those are the only ones we talked about, that we knew about. Anybody? How about Mrs.
Orange dress.
What? Go ahead.
Although
No, but-
we're not supposed to take people that we haven't had, that's why I wasn't in that thing. But tell me anyway, orange dress.
Let's
They can
hear
cut it off.
What's the best thing about working on The View?
The best thing about working at The View?
Hear her. Say it again.
The best thing is what we did
I wanna
today.
hear her say it.
What we did today is the best thing about the show, in my opinion. I've been here 20 years, almost. I was out for 2, as Tommy likes to point out. And the best thing is when we have a politician on that we can actually confront the way we did and talk truth to. Talk truth to power. We've done it for a lot of times over the years, and it is just incredible that we can do that we're in this position, because a lot of journalists can't even go where we went. If you'll notice, the news media, they can't even say, hey, that's a lie. We can say that. This is a very important show.
My favorite part about working on The View is getting to, honestly, and this is going to be so superficial, but getting to meet all the famous people that come on the show. Half the time, I would have never been in their presence, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm sitting next to Michael Douglas. Oh my goodness, I'm sitting next to Susan Sarandon. Oh my goodness, and I'm a fan just like everybody else in this audience, and I can just say, you know what, I asked her a question, I got that moment, and she looked me in the eye, J-Lo. That's my moment. Sorry.
And you?
I mean, I'm brand new. I just started. This is my second official day. But for me, I really like being challenged. I'm the libertarian conservative on the panel. I do definitely take some heat. Joy gives me a lot of heat, but I like it. It forces me to kind of think about what I stand for and have to defend what I stand for. And that's a good place to be, because every now and then I go home, she says something, and I say, I hadn't thought about that. And she, it opens my mind in a way that maybe it wouldn't be. And also the things that I really believe, I kind of learn how to defend them better. So it's a really good place to be.
All right. Anybody else have a question? There's a question.
Do you ever just take the time to listen to your co-host's point of view?
Do we listen to our co-host's point of view?
And actually listen, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
not to listen to respond, but to listen to their point of view.
Yeah, don't you think we do that?
It didn't seem like it just now.
Not right now. No, not right now. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't.
I think we listen, but we're not internalizing all the time, because what we're used to doing on the panel is to make sure we're right on top of each other. Because let's talk about ratings. If you want to keep it real, that's what they like. They like to see us go back and forth. So when we're having a sit down in a conversation, we're used to jumping. I think if we were in another type of situation, if we were in our makeup room, you have the conversation, it's an easier thing. But this job looks as if it's what you have at the table, at your house, with your family, which I learned the hard way. It's not, it's not conversation with family. It's conversation with another personality to make sure that all personalities are magnified on screen. Honestly, that's what it is.
Would you like us to do more of listening to each other?
Well, no, I think you two, it was perfect that you brought out the generational gap in the way the older generation looks at things and the way the younger generation looks at things.
Yeah.
And Raven made a great point that the world is constantly evolving.
I thought that was a very good point.
Can I just add to that? And I'm not trying to start anything. What I was saying, Joy, was that, no, let me just finish. What I was saying was, at every time period, there's the younger generation that moves forward. I'm not saying my generation now is better than yours. I'm saying that during the time period when you made all that amazing things happen, you weren't at the age you are now. You were at the younger generation.
Right.
So at every generation, the younger generation of that generation makes stuff happen. And that's why you always say, fight for the kids, fight for the kids. But then when it's time for the kids to step up, the older people say, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. All right.
That's what
I understand that. I completely understand that. And I have faith in the younger generation, and I worry about the younger generation. I'll be long gone when my grandson has to live in a world without air and water, because this generation is not paying attention to the things that are important. I worry so much at night. It keeps me up at night. I'm reading the Times today, and President Obama is so scared for all of us, you know? He's scared. And me too.
Do you think it's my generation, or do you think it's the older people in power?
I think that the system is out of control. It's not working very well. There's been a tremendous amount of obstructionism. I think that President Obama could have done much, much more if this Mitch McConnell and these other thugs in Congress would have given him a little help. I mean, you know, I feel very scared for everybody. I'm scared for us, and that's why I get angry and why I get upset. And sometimes I go over the top, I think. But I've been here too long. I see what's happening.
One thing I'll say, just to be optimistic, one thing I will say is I speak at college campuses a lot, and I speak to a lot of young people, and I'll tell you, they're very plugged in. They have great ideas. They're able to hold conversations with each other. They're able to debate. They care about freedom. They care about people's rights. They care about, you being able to marry whoever you want. They care about having an environment that exists for our future. They care about if they get a job, they want to keep their hard-earned cash. They don't want all their taxes to go places they don't know. But they're very plugged in, and I think they do a much better job than we give them credit for of actually talking through those issues. So I feel really good about that generation.
I even worry about the Donald Trump people who are following him, because I think they're misguided. I think that they're listening to slogans, "Make America Great," and they think, "Oh wow, he's going to do it."
Yeah.
He ain't going to do nothing.
Yeah. Well, that's true too. I think
I worry about those people too.
I think they just need younger people. No offense, everybody needs a job, but they need younger people in the playmaker seats. They need younger people. And it's not just, oh, affirmative, yes, we got somebody young, we have a female, we have a black person. No, you have to listen. You have to listen and accept that their ideas are different than what happened 20 years ago, and that's the way it works. Every single time a revolution happens, it's not someone 50 that's starting it. It's someone younger. I'm just saying.
That's true.
Yeah, and you also have to tear down, if you look at our country's history, you have to tear down the existing status quo. Sometimes you can't go into a house that's broken and fix it. You got to just tear it down and build a new house.
With new material.
With new material.
With new material, because don't get me started on how houses are built now. That's another topic. I know you were doing a metaphor, but I'm just
We have to go. We'll be back tomorrow with more.
Just saying.
Thanks for hanging around with us after the view, and don't forget to hit us up on Twitter and Facebook. See you tomorrow.